If you're trying to buy a house, you might relate to this. 50% of people say, well, we've done this when attempting, at least, to try to find one. That's your number of the day. If you've ever felt like the disadvantages in your life have held you back, maybe felt rejected, I got a story that I think is going to make you smile. This is the craziest part of the summer travel season, so if you're getting ready to get to an airport or get into your car for a road trip, something to keep in mind. It's a way to level up your life, and you don't have to be a doormat when you follow Jesus. Boundaries are biblical. And that's your Daily Joy Scroll. That's coming up on The Good News Show with Andy, where I'm all about putting a smile on your face and hope in your heart.
The Good News Show with Andy.
The number of the day is
50% of people trying to buy a house admit that they've cried in the process. It's emotionally taxing and how you have to wait, and then there's the rejection. And we got to the point where we just gave up because the last house we had looked at, there was like 20 plus offers, and we thought we can't afford anything here. And then our realtor said, well, there's this one house that's not on the market yet. They want to sell it to a family that's got some young kids that wants to grow up there. You want to check it out? I'm like, sure, I guess. But if this doesn't work, then nothing. And it worked out. So God showed up like he always does, right? When it seems like there's no way, when it's impossible, and maybe you've got a God showed up story you can share too. Talking about times when God showed up in your life, and maybe you're saying, Andy, I'm not there right now. I need God to show up because I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. Monica from MonicaRicchie.com was talking about that recently.
We're exhausted, but God is not exhausted. Often I think we look at God like he's this supersized human, like he's just like us, only he's bigger and better and stronger. But that's not really true. He's not this supersized human. And this mindset can actually make us hesitate when we need him because we see God as being too exhausted, too busy, or that he has too many other things going on like we do. And it causes us to withhold our need from him. But that is not how God works. He is far greater than we can ask or imagine. He's not some supersized human. He is God. And scripture tells us that he does not sleep. He does not grow weary. So whatever it is you need today, know that you can go to a God that is inexhaustible.
I love this. Monica, I started praying a prayer. Whenever I felt silly about asking God for something, I would say, well, God, I know this is silly, but. And I'd ask it. And it was the silliest things I thought, but God answered them.
Yes, I've had those too, where it's something really small and it feels kind of silly to even ask, but God cares about the details of our lives, and he's not exhausted. He's not exhausted by you or your requests.
If you've had one of those, God, what in the world are you doing with my life moments, maybe you've said it out loud, maybe in your car just a minute ago, because you don't know, you don't understand the plan. It's okay. We don't usually understand it, but maybe this promise from Philippians 1:6 helps you out. It says, God who began a good work in you will complete it. So that means God has already started something good in you, and even better, he's not done yet.
I hope this story makes you smile today.
If you've ever felt like some disadvantages in your life have held you back, maybe made you feel rejected, you might understand how Maggie felt. She's a black lab, and after a back injury, she needed a wheelchair and was abandoned by her owners at a shelter. But there was a very loving family that decided to adopt her, and they're not going to keep her to themselves. Maggie is now the mascot for a nonprofit that serves kids with special needs. So now these kids can pet Maggie and see her beautiful smile and that giant tongue that sticks out when she gets excited to see new people and say, here's a dog with some special needs. If she can do it, I can do it. You've had some time to think about it. And apparently, according to Inc. magazine, they say this summer is a great time to launch that e-commerce side hustle that you've been thinking about for a while. I've got a friend who does custom shirts on Etsy. He sells a few a month. It's nothing huge now, but he also enjoys doing it. So it's kind of like turning a hobby into something that can potentially make a little bit of money at least. Trusting God can be tough. That's kind of where I am after all these expenses just kind of adding up.
Hi, this is Larice. I just
Hi.
wanted to let you know to do trust God. I have been homeless for 6 weeks, and people have been donating money and motel costs, and I finally got into an apartment, and today someone gave me enough money to pay rent for next month. So trust God. It will come.
If you're getting ready for summer vacay, one thing to keep in mind, a way to level up your life. One big tip from someone who traveled on her own for 10 years, full time. She said, expect everything to go wrong. Plan for the worst. Not everything will go wrong, but there's probably some things that there'll be some bumps along the way. It's good to prepare for them. She said, and when that happens, Don't beat yourself up when things do go wrong, because if you think about it, the vacations that are perfect aren't the ones that you remember anyway. It's those ones where things didn't quite go to plan. Those are the ones that you talk about the rest of your life. If you're struggling with mental health, just, it's okay to reach out and ask for help. And people online are sharing the best things that they've learned in therapy. And no therapist needed. This is a great one. One person said, my therapist told me, you have a limited amount of energy in a day, and you get to choose where you place that energy. And so I can't. I'm internalizing this because I'm the worst at this. I can't say yes to everything. That means saying no to the good to be able to say yes to the great.
What did we learn today?
It's the best thing to do in the summer, especially when it's super hot. Lounge around by the pool or do something in the pool. Really, I think that your age determines your activity around the pool, and that's your food for thought today. What's your favorite activity to do in the pool? I went from cannonballs when I was little to belly flops when I was a teenager to the diving board when I finally learned to dive in my 20s, and now I'm in my lazy river era. The lazier, the better. You don't have to be a doormat when you follow Jesus. Boundaries are biblical.
You pretending to play nice with people and dying inside and people pleasing and keeping your mouth shut for false peace is not godly relationship. A God relationship thrives on trust and honesty, transparency, and real tough conversations that consistently need to be had in order to keep communication and peace flowing. So if you want to start building godly relationships with people, whether it's friends, professional, family, you've got to think, how do I invite God into this thing? It's by talking to him and asking him about boundaries and how to effectively communicate them. But it is not being silent and people pleasing. When you hide things and you store things inside of you because you want to, again, people please, you don't want to ruffle no feathers, you just want to be quiet. What you're doing is you're storing bitterness and anger and frustration. And there was no God in that.
When you have those moments where somebody says something or you see something happen or you just, the hair in the back of your neck just starts standing up because you think, I don't like this. It's kind of your body's fight or flight mechanism. Well, here's an uplifting thought to kind of help you get through that. When strong emotions arise, pause. That pause may allow you to find a better way out. And for me, not to say something that I'll regret. Remember that vase, or maybe it was a plate. For me, it was a plate that you broke as a kid. It was in the living room. It was your mom's favorite thing. And she tried not to be too mad at you when she picked it up and realized it couldn't even be glued together. That's kind of how some things might be in your life right now. Sometimes you just have to accept when something is truly broken. And when you try to fix it, you might actually get hurt more. Instead of hoping to make it better, sometimes the best thing is just to create something better. Everyone talks about social media influencers, but you can be an influencer in your job.
I always go with my grandkids who are trailing behind me, and we went to get a slice of pizza, and they have these great big quarter pizza slices, and they never cut them. And the girl was so, would you like me to cut those in half? And I'm like, oh, sure. And then we ordered a drink for them to share. She goes, oh, can I give you a couple smaller glasses? And I'm just like, I was so impressed with her. And I told her that. And then they have those nice comment cards as you walk out. And so I took a comment card and I filled it out front and back. And I was working at customer service at the time. And I said, you don't get service like that. And when you find someone that gives you that type of service, watch out. She's not going to stay here long.
Sometimes you just have to look for the good in people and in situations. And that means accepting and celebrating compliments no matter how small they are. Like my teenage son the other day said to me, Dad, generally, you're not embarrassing. I don't know what you were talking about, but I must have said about how I'm just an embarrassing dad. Like, well, you're not generally. Let me tell you, I'm pretty sure that is the highest praise I think you can get from a teenager. I'll take it.